Pansters hat ihre Leidenschaft, das Tanzen zum Beruf gemacht. Sie ist seit nun 4 Spielzeiten Teil des modernen Tanzensembles des Staatstheaters Mainz, Tanz Mainz. Ich habe mich mit der gebürtigen Holländerin über ihre persönliche Verbindung zum Tanz und die vergangenen Herausforderungen und Erfolge mit Tanz Mainz unterhalten. Das neue Stück Extra Time, entworfen vom französischen Choreografen Pierre Rigal, feierte unter besonderen Corona-Auflagen am 14. Juni Premiere und ich war dorthin eingeladen. Tanz und Social Distancing, das funktioniert dort ziemlich eindrucksvoll. Ich wollte aber erstmal von ihr wissen, wie wichtig und wie anders das Tanzen bei den Vorbereitungen während des Corona-Lockdowns eigentlich war.
I mean, very important, and of course it was a bit different in the beginning of the lockdown, the quarantine period. We were all at home, and we were all in home office, so to say. A very new experience, as for everyone in the world, I think, and it was quite challenging, but also interesting to do classes from home. It's very nice that there were so many online platforms available to actually give classes still to people who would want to, and I actually got into contact with many different practices like Pilates and yoga or other contemporary techniques that were available. And
so did you learn something new?
Yes, actually, yeah, I did, and there was also something very special in experiencing that from your own living room. But of course, at a certain point, the craving for more space and more room to actually move, because of course we can go outside and run in a field or something, but the craving was growing, and also at that point it was luckily allowed again to go back to the theater, and we started slowly working in the studio one-on-one with the choreographer Pierre Rigal from Extra Time. Yeah. And again, also a special experience to be with one dancer and one choreographer in the studio. We are often with way bigger groups there working. That's how we slowly started. And then only, I think, maybe 10 days before the premiere, we actually were all together.
Oh, really?
In a room or in a studio on stage, because it was the biggest space we have available in the theater, and we could actually manage to work there with 9 people and have the distance that was needed between us. So.
That's good. And so can you take us a little closer to the process, how the thing evolved? Like, did you start practicing for the choreography on your own and then kind of build it together, or was it really just the 10 days that you were in a group?
Both, actually. Like the first week or first weeks of this creation, it was working a lot one-on-one, or maybe with 2 dancers in the studio and Pierre, and it was a lot of exchange with him. In the meantime, since we have 2 studios available, there were other dancers in the group that were working on themselves. So they were either creating material by a task that they got from the choreographer, or they were doing their own research in the direction that the choreographer asked them to. And then in the end, like this 10 days, 2 weeks before the premiere, we got all together, and we actually got to see from each other what we have been working on, because we exchanged a bit, but we had no idea really. See, live is also very different, right? Yes, definitely.
I imagine that to be very emotional. Like, is there something else that was like super unusual or challenging in comparison to the regular state of process?
Well, definitely the fact that we cannot touch each other is something very unusual, especially for dancers, because we are very physically orientated. The work that we do requires that we experience through touch a lot. There is often, of course, other senses as well, but touch is a very essential component of the experience world of dance. And
also like a sensual part, and gets you in another state, right? When you like, sort of meld together with another person and build like this bigger thing, right?
Yeah. Also this, of course, when it's like if this is like the I don't know, the work a choreographer is going for, but it's also a lot about I don't know, like simple things like partner work or giving each other a hug in the morning, like all these things that also people that are not in the dance fields are experiencing. That is also something very different right now. And so in this sense, I think it also influenced the piece Extra Time. I don't think it isn't definitely not a choreography about the corona crisis, but it is influenced by the crisis.
Because that's what I wanted to ask, because I figured like the piece really melts together like social distancing and art and having like expressing standing somewhere and being like trapped somewhere. Like I imagined myself like being here in quarantine for like a few weeks when we really weren't supposed to go outside that much. And I really could see the emotions in the piece there, like being alone and then having desires, having pain, having like being nervous. I think that's all really like elements that the piece portrays. That's why I wanted to ask, how much is it like really about Corona, or is it just like inspired by Corona? Did Pierre Rigal mention something about that, or?
It's interesting that you ask. I don't think the piece itself is necessarily about Corona at all. I think he did take some elements that he experienced in this period, because he was also in Mainz during the entire quarantine time.
Okay.
And what I remember him often saying is that he felt we are in a strange period. It is different than what we experience as normal usually. And he wanted this feeling of like something is unusual or strange. He wanted to bring this with him in the choreography. So he wasn't necessarily exploring like what Corona does to an individual, to a group, or to people at the moment, but he was just taking these sensations that he experienced, I think, throughout this time with him, and finding ways how he could also slightly express that in the work. So
there's always something new to discover, right, when these times are so special. And I think he did it also in a very like playful way.
Yes, definitely.
Like especially in the end, the piece takes like a little turn with like dance music coming on, and then it's like partying. The desire to party is like what especially young people must have felt like a lot, and then like discovering this concept of like partying with yourself, right? And so I found that really interesting. So in the process, like, how much? No, I'll start with this question. How much did you miss performing in front of an audience then, right? Where like you practiced so long for your own, and how much do you think the audience was also like especially hungry for this cultural experience, to have like a little bit of culture again? Because I myself figured that I haven't been out and I haven't been in a theater for like the whole time, and I felt like the audience was like really excited to be out again, right?
Yeah, this was. I actually had no idea what to expect, like going on stage. I knew that of course the limited amount of people allowed in the theater was way less, and that it would be mostly empty seats. But I had absolutely no idea what to expect, how the audience would react, or how they would find the experience of going back to, in a way, a social event and being around this amount of people again. But I was very happily surprised by their reaction. Like at least the people I spoke to, or the ones, or how they received after the shows we've done until now was very heartwarming, I have to say, and very open and positive. And I'm very thankful for that. That I felt like there was a mutual appreciation. There was the appreciation of us being on stage again, thankful for people to come, but also the other way around, that the audience was happy to be there and happy that, we are there as well.
Exactly. I personally felt that in the beginning, before the piece started, everybody was a little nervous and looking around. So for our audience, the theater was like maybe like 1/4 of the seats were taken. Which is very not much for a premiere of this caliber, but once the thing started, I felt like everyone was really soaking it in. And maybe speaking about you and yourself a little bit. How long have you been dancing for Tanz Mainz, and when did you start dancing? Even when did the whole journey for you start?
Oh, when did I start dancing? Well, honestly, when I was 4 years old.
Oh, really?
Yes,
that early?
Very early. But yes, it was more from, to be socially engaged, meet other kids. We did a bit of like improvisation dancing, like games you play, like, of course, not this serious. And then more as a hobby, let's say. So I did this for a couple of years. Then when I was, I think 12, 11, 12, I auditioned for a pre-education in dance. Yes, I got invited to join it. So my high school was a combination of a dance education and a normal high school education, and I did them together. I was lucky there was a school in my neighborhood that was providing that. And then at the age of 18, I started to audition for bachelor educations in dance. And I got into Codarts in Rotterdam. And then, I was very happy that I managed to get a place there. I followed my 4-year bachelor there. In the last year, you're doing an internship, which you again have to audition for. And I auditioned here at Tanz Mainz. Very lucky and happy that they took me. So I did 1 year of internship here. And then I auditioned because they had contracts available for the season after. I auditioned for that and got a place here. So now I am in my 3rd contract season here.
Yeah.
But in total, I'm 4 years dancing with Tanz Mainz.
Wow, that's really impressive. The fact that you started this passion and kind of never lost it, right? That you kind of like pulled it through and made it your profession even. Is that sometimes very challenging to have
completely,
your hobby and your passion also being your job?
Oh, yes, it's a very dualistic relationship, and also especially over the years of because it started quite young with me, it was only at a later age that I felt for myself this is something I want to do professionally. Because this is what I feel I want to experience life through. And then I was like, if this is so meaningful to me, then let's go for it. But it's a dualistic relationship. It's a hate-love relationship. It's very hard. Like
it can be very also physically exhausting, right? I imagine it like the moves I saw, and also in the other performances that I saw footage of. It's very, very physically exhausting, right? Yeah, it's
yes, definitely. It depends, of course, on the work that you do, but generally, looking at the workload we have and the amount of choreographies we do, and generally how demanding dance can be physically. It's can be very challenging to deal with. But what I also learn over the years is to have a positive relation with physical stress.
Yeah.
And this, of course, doesn't always work, and always doesn't work to look at it that way. But you learn to accept that into your life, that this is part of doing this job, and choosing for this profession. Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit more this dualistic relationship? Like, were there any moments that you felt like were very special or very like influential for you personally? Or like any big steps that you made?
I can answer the question in more ways, but looking, for example, on a smaller scale, like what is a dualistic relation is to this profession is, for example, when everyone knows the feeling of not wanting to engage socially, wanting to hide, wanting to just be alone in your room and sit there and read a book and not have too much interaction.
Yeah,
and when you're feeling like that, and you have to step on stage and perform for hundreds of people, it's it's a very interesting feeling. It's very you
have to overcome yourself.
You have to overcome certain parts of yourself, and let go of this personal side of yourself for a little moment, because you're stepping on stage into a job that is in that moment or requires something else. So this is like one situation that I think explains this dualistic.
Is that something that's like getting easier with time, or with more often it happens, or is it like hard every time? I imagine it to be like you have like a technique for yourself to like get this point to overcome, or
well, I don't know. I don't think there's like one way to deal with these situations. I think, as with anything, during time and experiences, they teach you things, and of course I think you can gain the tools to deal with these situations more and more over the years, because you have more experience with them. So I don't know if it really gets easier, but you gain the tools to deal with them in a different way each time, I think.
And as a like professional dancer at the theater, do you, maybe that's a side question, but do you still like enjoy, when it's not Corona, going out and dancing to like very simple music and going to like a club and do that?
Completely, I love it.
Is that something like you need some like part of like some counterpart that you need to like let go all the professional dancing just to like dance for yourself a lot, or are you like tired of dancing sometimes?
No, I'm not tired of dancing. No, not at all. Actually, like I feel that's what is for me the beautiful and intriguing thing about dance, that it can be so many things. It can be maybe in a dance choreography that is performed on stage. It is a way to transfer a message, to explain like a visual form or artistic form, to touch up on the concept that the choreographer wishes to express. It can be a form of therapy, it can be a personal form of expression, but also it can be just a way to have fun and to enjoy your body and to enjoy your being, and to also enjoy that with other people. And this is for me, I love to go out, I love to dance in clubs, on festivals. I'm a big fan of that, like to enjoy collectively also the art of music, but experience it bodily. And
cool.
It's big passion of mine.
That sounds good. It sounds really passionate. I'm really looking forward to going out and dance again, and the piece really made me realize that even more. Like, we have to be a little patient. Maybe we can dance outside or dance for yourself.
Yes, you can dance anywhere. I danced in my room many times in this dance alone.
I did so too. So you talked about this collectivity when you like usually building this in the process of choreography, and you worked with the French choreographer Pierre Rigal this time, but also for the other performances that you prepared. How much is there like an exchange between the dancers' individual preferences and the idea, the vision of the choreographer? Is this like more like a dictated thing, or is this more like a combined working together? And
do you ask this specifically for the work of Pierre Rigal, or in general?
Yeah, it's probably different every time. Yeah,
it's completely different every time. With every person, a choreographer that walks into the studio, it's a different process.
And how was it with Pierre Rigal? How was it working with him?
I mean, with Pierre, it was like, the way I can explain it best is to say, for example, he gave us the language he wanted us to speak in, and so he gave that general bubble, but also he was very detail orientated. So he would also say, he could very focus on specific, in quotation marks, words that he wanted, the way he wanted us to pronounce them, but like the way we built the sentences and the way like also the content of what we say, that was very much up to us, actually, the dancers. So
did you enjoy that?
Yes, I do always enjoy the possibility to give as well, and to not only receive from a choreographer. I very much like this exchange, and the opportunity to enter a dialogue with this person. And yes, I think it was definitely present with him, and it was interesting to see how he could be, his focus could be on something so general and open, that he was actually really fine with many things that we suggested. But then on the other hand, he could really get so focused on an extreme detail that he had quite those extremes in him, I would say.
Probably because there wasn't really that much of extra time, right? And like, how can you maybe elaborate on the title a little bit? Like, what does that extra time say about the choreography? What does it mean to you?
I mean, what I know that Pierre explained us, he used to make the comparison to having extra time in a football match, for example.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And like, what do you do with this extra bit? Of course, I don't think, for me personally, I don't think extra time was made available to us, but the time that was already there was just spent differently, because of the Corona crisis, the existing work we were in process with, couldn't continue. And also other choreographies that we were supposed to do, and the touring, of course, all got cancelled. So I didn't personally see it as in we are having extra time right now to do something. It's just we have the time, and we are in a way forced to spend it differently.
Okay, yeah. Exactly.
So I see it more like that. Yeah. So that would be my personal connection to the work.
Is there? You just talked about touring, which is cancelled basically for probably an indefinite time.
Yeah.
Is that a part of your job? You were probably touring with the one of the last performances called Soul Chain, which was very successful all around Germany. It released in 2017, right?
Let's see, 2 seasons ago. Yes, I think so. If I'm correct.
Yeah, I think end of in November 17 or something.
Yeah.
Is the touring was that exciting, the time? Can you take us back to the little Soul Chain touring time? And
yeah, actually the touring itself for Soul Chain was at least something that came up this season. We had a couple of tours which were very, very nice, but a lot of the tours were supposed to happen in this period, actually, from March to summer. And yes, they of course got cancelled. I know that the company is trying to work on moving some of these tours to next season, and I think also some of them have already been confirmed. So I'm very excited about that, because touring is something that as a Staatstheater we haven't done that much, or at least the Staatstheater of Mainz. So I'm happy that there's energy being put into making this possible, and sharing the work also, besides with the beautiful Mainz audience and the audience around, also with more people that are interested in it. Yes.
But you performed Soul Chain in other cities, right? Before.
Yes.
And I mean, it was received very well, right? And
yes, I mean, there were very positive reactions on it. Yes, it was. Yeah.
And what I figured, like Soul Chain, and also the recent piece Extra Time, and maybe that's what Tanz Mainz also in general stands for. It really like combines these dancing styles, and it harmonizes like the ballet kind of style with like modern electronic music and also hip hop dancing a little bit is what I saw, and it like combines and melts it together. How much can you like identify with these single styles, and what do you think works so well when you combine them?
So I think like, because the way Tanz Mainz is working is that we are a creation-based company. So every choreographer that comes in, they create a choreography on us, with us. So we are always in creative process. It doesn't happen that a choreographer comes in with an already existing choreography and that we have to learn it as a company. And I think this is something very unique, at least for the form of a Staatstheater, and it's and I think it's also one of the main reasons why I connect to the work that we do so much. And because we work like this, we have the opportunity to work with many different choreographers that come from different backgrounds, have a completely different language, and are just very diverse. And it is always a challenge when someone else new comes in, because often they bring in something that maybe the company is not so familiar with yet, or maybe some dancers more than others. But it always leaves us richer than before they came. And yes, so it's very. Sorry, you asked if it's challenging to combine these different, or
why do you think it works?
Why do I think it?
I mean, you basically gave the answer, because everyone like puts in his favorite thing, right? And
I mean, yeah, not always also necessarily favorite, but I think it works because we try to work on a broad spectrum of the art form of dance, and to challenge ourselves every time, but also challenge our audience by giving them and allowing them to see something new every time, to not fall into one specific form of dance or expression of dance.
And I think that also broadens the audience, right? It speaks to like young people as much as it does to old, maybe people that are more used to like classical dancing, right? It's like, for me, it's like this perfect transition between modern dance and classical dance.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's like I try always not to really categorize what we do as modern or contemporary or theater dance or or ballet or whatever. But yeah, I think generally in dance there's something for everyone, and if the audience can leave with a feeling that they experience something watching a show, whether that's positive or negative, I am happy about that. Like, yeah.
And so the group you're in, it must be very special, like family-like atmosphere, right? How many dancers are in the group in total?
Oh, okay. Wait, now I have to think. I want to say 22, 23, something like this. Yes, we have like some dancers also on a guest contract. So
being in your third year or fourth year now?
My fourth year, but it's my third contract year. Yes.
Being in your fourth year with this group, kind of, is that really like a special bond that you feel? Because also the working process sounds very much like really like so many creativities and individuals are becoming like one organism, which must be very intimate, right?
Yes, completely. I appreciate the people I work with every single day. I think it's a wonderful group. I think we are extremely different from each other.
Okay,
we
are
completely different dancers and individuals. It's very good, I think, because it's what makes the group rich. But I think we're also always trying and managing to find a way to be together, even in our differences of opinion or experience. We always try to find this collectiveness, and I feel a lot of care, and I feel a lot of empathy and a lot of sympathy from everyone. And I'm very appreciative of this, and also very aware of the fact that I'm lucky to have this group of people around me. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, maybe to come to an end, like foreseeing the future, if you could, like, where do you see yourself? Do you want to explore like some other fields of dancing, or are you just right now happy to be with that group as long as you can, or is there anything you have like wishes for the future for yourself?
As of now, I'm very happy to be where I am. I feel that I am not done learning in this place, and I'm not done challenging myself. I feel like there's also more that I still can offer to this place, which I really wish to do. I do have some personal ideas of what I still want to do regarding dance, and I would, but it's not that present for this moment right now. But I'm interested in what dance or physicality can do in the form of I don't know, how it can work in a healing way, or how it can work in bringing people together more. Also, maybe how it can question certain things. And yes, this is something I don't have any solid or clear ideas yet about what this would mean, but I'm just generally very interested in the body and how it works, and how we communicate with the body as well as with words. So yeah, this is something I know there is more for me to explore in. And for now, I feel I can also do this where I am right now. But yes, I don't know. I'm open to see what this will bring for me in the future. And
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you still have lots of passion that you don't seem to like have lost on the way, which is good, I guess.
Yeah.
And, yeah. All the best. And maybe for audiences to explore more of Tanz Mainz, are there going to be more performances on Extra Time during the next month of Extra Time, or even other pieces from Tanz Mainz?
Yes, so we, until the summer break, we will be performing Extra Time. It will also come back after the summer, but yes, there's still tickets for shows available. So if people are interested, please come. But have a look at our website, because there are a few more projects happening. There is the Running Club at the moment, which is a group of dancers. They were not involved in Extra Time, but they developed their own project, which is a running performance outside, which you can join if you're maybe into jogging, or maybe if you're not into jogging as well, because it can be very fun.
That sounds fun.
And there will be a few more pop-up performances here and there outside in Mainz. So yeah, it might be that you're walking on the street and then suddenly run into dancers doing a performative act. So have a look at us, I would say. Maybe you'll get something from it. Yeah.
That sounds very promising. Amber Pansters from the dancing ensemble of the Staatstheater Mainz, Tanz Mainz. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It was fun. And yeah, looking forward to see more pieces and performances of you and your group.
Thank you.
Thanks.